Okay, so these are the hives that are on the farm, and I haven't checked on them for a while. Yeah, they're not clogging the entrance. Looks like we might have had some critters trying to get in. I might clear out those entrances a bit, but they've got a top entrance, so they can go up top if they need to. I was planning to put some ratchet straps on these two hives, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it with all this snow on the ground. And we've got a lot more snow coming, but I'm going to see what I can do. Excellent. See that? It looks like they're moving in slow motion, but they're in a state of torpor. Just slowly eating away at their honey. Don't need to move. Don't need to do anything. Nice. I like it. And no moisture in the hive. Nothing crazy going on, I don't think. Nope. Excellent. Pretty neat. Now, I'll have to check my records, but it's interesting. I've got an inner cover on this hive, and I got a moisture quilt on top of it, and there's a hole right above the hole of the moisture quilt. Did I do that, or I must have done that? I don't see how anything else could do that, so yeah, I'm assuming that's what that is. Anyhow, I've got, yeah, that should be alright. Yeah. Cover up that hole actually. So any moisture will come up through that hole and be absorbed by these wood chips and evaporate outside the hive. I just picked the top off, looked underneath, and there's no moisture underneath that hive. No dampness, no nothing. So that's great. So they're good. I don't think I need to touch them for at least another month. The only problem here is I don't know how I'm going to tie this down with ratchet straps. I'm going to try to dig underneath the pallet and see what I can do, but I don't think I can do this. I might have to keep the bricks on top of it and hope for the best. Last year I had a brick on top of one of my hives, and this is what I think happened, is through the melting of the snow and ice and thawing and melting, that it created a layer of ice underneath, or a layer of water first underneath the brick, and then it froze and created a layer of ice under the brick, and on that ice the brick gradually slid off the hive because the hive is slightly tilted downwards, and gradually just slid off the top, and the weight of the brick made the telescoping inner cover flip, and the whole thing fell off. Anyway, I've got this one tied down, so that's not going to happen, and so that's why I want to tie these down. So right here we have looks like a burrow of some kind, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a rat. It's definitely not a shrew. Let's see what happens. Can I see down there? No. Let's just dig into that and see what we see. So you can see right down there underneath that hive. That'd be a great place to hang out if I was a rodent. I've got 1/4-inch mesh. They can't get through that, and they can get through the top entrance right here, but I don't think that's happening. We're having some snow. We're having 40 centimeters of snow and wind over the next couple of days, so this could all get buried. And if that happens, and the snow is up, like say this high, well then it's close to the top cover, the top entrance. And if that happens, then I'll put some 1/4-inch mesh on the top entrance. And here's an excellent example of what I was talking about. See this? This is ice. This has been sitting on top of my hive. And that's ice. That's a thin layer of ice underneath that brick. And it's just gradually melting and freezing and melting and freezing. And gradually that will slide off the top of the hive and take the cover with it from the weight of it. So I need to do something so that doesn't happen. So I just took a quick peek under this top, and look what I found. So they're going to need some sugar. For whatever reason, they're up top. Why are they up top? I don't know. Could there be a mouse or something underneath in the hive making them go up? I don't think so. No, that's plugged good. And it might just be that the whole bottom entrance is plugged up, so they're just going up to the top to get some air. So I'll unplug this, get all that snow out of there, and maybe that'll help them out. I think they're okay right now, but I'm going to come back in a couple weeks and just give them some sugar. So I just unclogged this bottom entrance and scraped off some of that ice, and the bees are definitely down there. So that cluster is going from here to the top. So there's a lot of bees in here and a lot of mouths to feed. So for whatever reason, these guys may not have enough honey to get them through the winter, especially if they're already clustering up top and bottom. So I don't think they're going to starve out anytime soon, but I got to come back the first chance I get, really. I'm going to put a rim on top of this and give them some sugar bricks, just to be safe. But it's a nice defensive colony. These bees are really defensive. Like when I knock on the hive, do anything, they're really, they just come right out. And for some reason, they're not coming out that top entrance. But anyway. So, and that's to me, that's always a good sign. Like if they're really defensive in the wintertime, they're good. They're going to be rare to go in the winter, in the springtime. That maybe not always the case. Maybe there's nothing to that. It might just be coincidence. But this colony, I think, is the one that had the top blown off it last winter, and it did great. And it looked like they still got that same vigor on the go. So whatever. Just speculations. So I managed to get this one tied down with a ratchet strap, and that one too. Now they're all tied down. This one I think is in fine condition, nice and dry. This one I haven't looked at yet, and I don't know if I want to, because I find loosening the ratchet strap to be kind of a pain. So I'm just assuming, well, I get to try to take a look to see if they're up here. Yeah, I'll turn on my flashlight and see if I can see them up there. And if they're not up there, then I'm going to assume they're okay. I could also pull out the plug here and see if I see anything. Oh, there they are. Oh yeah, I can hear them buzzing. So they're in there. They're down below. That's good enough. Good enough for me. I'll leave them alone. Okay, so I just took a peek under the hood. Not under the hood, but I used my cell phone flashlight and just took a look under this entrance. And there's no bees up there, so I can definitely hear them and see them down there. So I'd say they're good. I'm going to clear out that bottom entrance just before I go, and otherwise I'm going to leave them alone. And I pulled out one of these corks, and I could see the bees behind the cork, so they're clustering down there. Good old corks. I'm going to give these guys a couple minutes to calm down before I put that mesh back on. So it's not always easy putting the mesh back on. Well, I'm just going to leave that alone. And hopefully that mesh is on good enough for now. And I'll come back in a week or two, put a rim on, give them some sugar, and hope for the best. But boy, they're definitely defensive right now. And it sucks to be able to do this because this really disrupts them. And yeah, they're just trying to sting me. Anyhow. It sucks when I disturb them like this much in the wintertime, but that's it, I had to do it. But hopefully I won't have to do this again. I can just put that sugar on in a couple weeks and then forget about it. The only concern I have, again, is this hive too, is the bottom. That's pretty much clogged up, so they can't get out. And I know if I clear that out, I'm going to get the same situation as that. Now these look like, if I saw all this, I would think that shrews are eating my bees, because there's all kinds of little bits and pieces of bees there. But I just don't see how the shrew could get in. And I think that's just me from scraping up dead bees, not from shrews or anything. But it definitely looks like, geez, it definitely looks like shrews. If I saw all this outside my hive, I'd be wondering, uh-oh. Because all bits and pieces of wings and body parts. I mean, that looks exactly like shrews eating bees. But how did they even get in here? You know, next time I'm going to come by with some mesh, put some mesh up there, just in case the shrews are somehow getting in there. Because the shrews jump up on that and get in. I was just looking at the bottom of this hive too, and I can look, it looks like lots of bees everywhere. So, a little bit concerned about that. If they can't get out for cleansing flights, it's not good, but it looks like there's an accumulation of shit on the bottom. So, that's not great. I can see some of the bees. That's what it is. That's what I've noticed. What is going on? They're not getting out. That's not great. But anyway, we'll see what happens.